basic education program geared standards and competency-based grading system. When we say grading system, a system that educators use in a particular institution to evaluate each individual student performance in learning.
Using e-class record is typically easier and more effective than manually computing students' grades. Teachers can type inputs more quickly thanks to e-class record. In addition, it facilitates record keeping, saves time, and offers crucial grading information. In other words, it facilitates record keeping, saves time, and offers crucial grading information.
It is very important to employ a systematic approach in computing the grades of the students because it will help the teacher to stay guided on what you should do and do not while computing the grades of her students. Also, it will serve as her receipt for transparency when someone wants to know or question how did she come up with the grade that she gives. Thus, as a future educator, it is really necessary to employ a systematic approach in computing the grades of the students for us to avoid bias and other malicious acts and fully gain the trust of our students. Also, it will serve as a receipt for transparency when someone wants to know or question how did she come up with the grades she gives. Thus, as a future educator, it is really necessary to employ a systematic approach in computing the grades of the students for us to avoid bias and other malicious acts and fully gain the trust of our students.
There is a need to accomplish different school forms because teachers need to comply with the Department of Education in ensuring the quality and consistency of the students' information. In this way, stakeholders will be able to decide a better option and provide more quality education to the learners.
Thus, teacher plays a vital role in the learner's education. It is not limited only in teaching but also in their dedication to accomplish different school forms.
Most of the time, there are school forms are needed to be accomplished in every school year to ensure that the learner's information is relevant and updated. However, there are school forms are needed to be accomplished in every beginning of the school year, every quarter, months, and weeks. It lies of what kind of school forms are needed to be accomplished.
It lies on what kind of school form needs to be accomplished. So as a future educator, it is important for us to know what school form is needed to accomplish on every end of beginning the school year and every quarter, months, or weeks so that we can pass on it on time.
If any teacher was delayed in passing those different school forms, the school will be the one who is responsible to explain and report to the checking committee since they are the one who monitors the school in strictly complying with those different school forms on time. Also, this delay will affect not only the teachers and the school, but mostly the learners as they will be deprived to access more quality education. That is why, as a future educator, we must learn how to be responsible in our time and doing our task.
As a future educator, I'll use the direct and indirect measures to systematically compute the grades of my student. Both direct and indirect measures can be used to evaluate information regarding student learning.
Direct measures refers to the method of collecting data that requires students to demonstrate a knowledge, skills, or behavior. Evidence from coursework, such as projects, specialized tests of knowledge, or skills are examples of direct measures. Indirect measures refers to any method of collecting data that requires reflection on student learning, skills, or behavior, rather than a demonstration of it. These include survey, exit interviews, or focus groups.
SF1, commonly known as school register, is the easiest form to complete. We don't actually need to encode it manually because it previously encoded in the previous level. Unless there's a tiny change, we can encode it manually. And this SF1 helps us to know our student basic information. The most challenging is the SF10 or the permanent academic record because it requires
the entire grades from first to fourth quarter to the current level. The summary of grades can be linked to the SF10 to quickly resolve this. The grades were automatically encoded in this manner.